The idea of a Nintendo Cinematic Universe has been something that's been discussed for a while. I know a lot of people really hate this idea, but I personally think it could work. Now, that being said, I am going to be handling this universe a bit differently. It's not even really going to be a single universe, since some movies are live action and others are animated, and also because it's an idea that's already been established in a few of these movies. The Super Smash Bros. Movie establishes that the Mushroom Kingdom is a separate world from the real world. And Minecraft, which isn't Nintendo but is in Super Smash Bros., the movie takes place across 3 dimensions with the overworld, the nether, and its own real world. These movies won't be very connected to each other outside of the Super Smash Bros. Movies and any movies that do take place in the same universe, like the various Mario spin offs. Maybe as time goes on and people start to warm up more to this universe, they could start crossing over just a bit more frequently, and eventually something could happen that causes them to all fuse into one universe. But for right now, I'm going to keep them almost entirely separate. When it comes to third-party characters, they will appear in the Smash movies, but I won't be covering them here because they are all being made by different studios, so they'd have no effect on Nintendo's own movies at all. Now, admittedly, I'm not super familiar with Nintendo as a whole like I am Marvel or DC. I am very knowledgeable about certain franchises like Mario and Kirby, which I am big fans of, but there are others I might not be as familiar with, so I might have to do more research or the plots might end up being a lot more simple. The first movie of this universe, officially anyways, would be the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which I'm not going to be changing at all. There's nothing I change about it, but I don't really want to change any existing movies, and it's pretty good for the most part. Following that, we have a direct sequel, the Super Mario World movie. Now, I don't think having Bowser always be the main villain would work for a movie franchise like it does for the games. So the main villains here would be Wario and Waluigi. I would probably have Foreman Spike be their father, which is an idea you probably know from MatPat, even though I believe it existed earlier. I just thought it would make sense given his role in the first movie, and it would explain why they would dedicate themselves to being Mario and Luigi's rivals. Wario and Waluigi trap the Yoshis in eggs to challenge Mario and Luigi. The heroes are joined by Daisy and a reluctant Bowser. Yoshi seems to recognize Mario, and we begin to get hints that Mario might not be as new to this world as he thought. At some point, Bowser is somehow drowned in lava and seemingly dies. I know that seems crazy, but we'll later find out he's not actually dead. Legend of Zelda would essentially be what you would expect for a first movie. Ganondorf wants the Triforce to transform into Ganon, and he is stopped by Link and Zelda. Notably, Ganondorf would not actually turn into Ganon in this movie, as that would be saved for the end of this trilogy. Yeah, it's a pretty simple plot, but it works for the Pokemon Red and Blue would actually be the sequel to Detective Pikachu, since despite popular belief, that isn't actually cancelled, so it would be retroactively added to this universe. The main villains would be Team Rocket, including Jesse, James, Meowth, and their leader Giovanni. The Kirby movie has Kirby arriving in Dreamland to find that nobody is having good dreams. He discovers that the ruler of Dreamland, King Dedede, has stolen the Star Rod from the Fountain of Dreams. The citizens of Dreamland believe Dedede has turned on them, and Kirby goes on a quest to stop him. On his journey, Kirby crosses paths with Meta Knight, who is working for Dedede but seems to know more than he's letting on. Eventually, it's revealed that the Star Rod was corrupted by Nightmare, who Dedede was trying to stop. Meta Knight also knew about this and was testing Kirby to see if he could face Nightmare. Kirby does face Nightmare, using the Star Rod itself with the help of Meta Knight and Dedede. The first big crossover is Super Smash Bros., where Bowser is partially resurrected by an unknown force in the form of Dry Bowser. Bowser wants to obtain an artifact known as a Smash Ball in order to make himself and his army stronger and invade the multiverse. The ruler of the Smash Dimension, the Master Hand, summons heroes including Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Link, Zelda, Pikachu, Pokemon Trainer, Kirby, DDD, Meta Knight, and the two guest characters, Sonic and Steve. I wanted to have a larger cast of 12 characters like in the original Super Smash Bros. Game to differentiate it from other cinematic universes. Dry Bowser uses the power of the Smash Ball to transform into Giga Bowser. Mario, Sonic, and Link face Giga Bowser, as the unique dynamics between those three would be a big focus, while the rest of the heroes fight his powered up army. By the end, he's just transformed back into normal Bowser. Part 1 ends with the third Mario movie, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which begins with the Mushroom Kingdom being invaded by a race of alien mushrooms called the Shroobs. The heroes and villains from the previous Mario movie, joined by Bowser Jr., are rescued by Rosalina, who takes them to her galaxy, which is being invaded by the Shroobs, who are seemingly led by Princess Shroob, who wants to collect the pieces of the Cobalt Star, which are scattered across the galaxy. It is revealed that her older sister, Elder Princess Shroob, was imprisoned in the Cobalt Star, and that she now wants to free her. Once the Cobalt Star is assembled, Bowser attempts to steal it and take its power for himself, but he becomes possessed by Elder Princess Shroob, creating Shrowser. Mario and Luigi defeat Shrowser using fire flowers, freeing Bowser from the possession and destroying Elder Princess Shroob.